Let's have some fun with Tom Bukovac's suggested overdrive pedal of choice, and he is the reason that so many of us have been turned on to Nobels. And I was not aware of them, but obviously if you've watched Tom, you sure know about these Nobels pedals. I have 3 different versions of them. I have the big brand spanking new one that's out, not the vintage stuff that costs $18 trillion. Then I've got the mini, and then I've got this new mini that I have 2 of these. I don't know if you're able to see that. And I thought we'd have some fun because Nobels has some suggested settings for 6 different or 5 different, sound examples. So the first one is a simple boost. And in this example here, I've got a little Leonard Skinner-y type of swampy E chord progression. And we're only dealing with the gain. All right, no, I'm sorry, the drive, the spectrum, and the level. So although the new Mini has a bass cut knob that you can actually dial, and I really like that feature, the settings are not manipulated by that. We don't use that on this. So we're going to keep the bass cut at 12 o'clock, which effectively is off. And we're going to just try the little setting. So here's my stock tone. This is the BG Bender with the Lindy Fralins there. Come through an FR12 cabinet. And I am not using the Boss R200 on this one. I'm actually using the JHS color box. So I'll give you a quick look at what I'm dealing with. Oops, just kicked the thing right there. So there you go. So that's what we got. So let's see what these settings will sound like to this. So I'll tell you where the knobs are as related to like a clock, okay? So on the simple boost, what they suggest is the drive totally off, which is here, 8 o'clock would be off. And then the spectrum knob would be at 3 o'clock, and then the level would be at 3. So that might be right or wrong for your level. The level would be the thing you would adjust, right? So here's my stock tone, and there's the boost. So you can hear. All right, so let's see what this sounds like. This would just be my tone that I've dialed in with just a little bit of a volume boost. So here we go. I'll play half of the passage on the neck pickup and then the other half on the back pickup. Ready? Maybe I should do it the other way around. That was the boost, kind of cool. I'm going to shut that off, and the next setting is called the bluesy tone. So that keeps us about between 8 and 9 on the drive. So let's do 8 and 9 on the drive. Spectrum is about noon, and then the level is about 2 o'clock. So what I'm going to do again is here's my stock tone. And here is what they're suggesting. Little decrease in volume. And let's see. Can't hear the drive too much, so I'm going to turn it up to about 9 o'clock. I'll turn the level down just a little bit. Not quite the grit. Turn it up a little bit more. I'm going to go a little between 9 and 10. Still not getting it. Oh, I should turn the pedal on. Okay, there it is. Now, that level is a little bit more than 9, but not 10 o'clock. So let's try our passage. You ready? 3, 4, 1. Yeah, you can hear that. Just right there on the edge of breakup. That's very pleasant, very nice. It's interesting about these settings. I wouldn't use this pedal like this on some of these recommended settings. And the next one is a warm solo. Now we're going to take the drive to 2 o'clock. Check that pedal off real quick. The spectrum to 10. And the level, again, stays at 2. So let's hear this. This is stock tone. Turn the level down because it's kind of too much. I'll go just a little bit less, but this is the tone. A lot more bite, sure. Definitely more grit. Let's try it. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Really nice. And they call that warm solo. Yeah, I can sure hear that. Put some delay on that. I almost threw this paper out, and I was curious if they had any recommended settings. It's really interesting to me because I just, much as I think I know something, evidently I don't know nothing. I just didn't try these combinations at all and hadn't thought about them this way. But hey, typical fella, just take the directions and throw them away. So that was setting number 3, warm solo. And number 4 is called rock rhythm. So now, let me shut the pedal down. We're going to take the drive to 11. We're going to take the spectrum to 3. And once again, the level stays at 2. So let's see if we're okay. That's not too bad. Turn it down a little bit. I had turned it down from 2 to 12. So just back up. All right. So this is rock rhythm. So this is what this sounds like. Let's try it with our Skinner type thing. Put the time verb on it. Ready? Here we go. 3, 4, 1. pickup at towards the end. Very nice, very nice. And the last one, that was called Rock Rhythm. And number 5, 70s drive. Now this is interesting because you crank the drive and the spectrum, and then you adjust your level. It's a little bitey, so I'm going to turn the spectrum down a little bit. Turn the volume up a little bit. You know, I heard Tom say this, and, you know, of course, he's a master of tone and recorded tone, not just live tone, but recorded tone, things that are permanent on what you're going to hear on albums. And sometimes the sound by itself, you wouldn't say, wow, that's the sound I want. But when you add it to something, it's the perfect sound. This is one of those things where, as I'm listening to it, yeah, it's okay right there. Little bitey there. I don't know. Let's try it. Here we go. There's some extra goodies on the end. I was just having some fun there in front of your eyes, in front of your ears. It's really kind of cool. The Nobel's pedals is unbelievably diverse, and thank goodness that Mr. Bukovac shares his knowledge with that stuff, along with all the other folks that are doing that. You know, I'll say it again about Tom. You know, if you're going to listen to somebody, he's somebody good to listen to. He's doing it. He's done it for a very long time, proven too. So interesting for me because, you know, coming from my musical background, it's been much more of a simple acquisition of tone playing with the Drifting Cowboys. When I started my session stuff in the 90s, early 90s in Nashville, things were coming out of a box. They were pre-programmed, very simple, luscious sounds, not the complexity of what I look at today. And it was all coming out of these, you know, these guitar units. I had to Digitech GSP Pro 21. It was the first thing that I had. Then a Korg A5, a Korg A3, and several other things. And it really didn't need much for the sounds that I was doing. And then, you know, also I had the benefit of presets, and that were very good, you know. And recording was done a lot different. And then as time went on, you know, I just simply migrated to something much more simple for a while. And then, of course, now here I am arriving to the ball game late. But nonetheless, I'm still at the ball game, aren't I? Anyway, check that out when you get a chance. That's the that's what we were looking at there. And that's the Nobel's suggested settings. How about that? Hope you enjoyed that. I did. All right, God bless you all, and we'll catch up soon.